Welcome back, folks. Well, International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day is on November 19th. It's the one day a year where people affected by suicide loss can gather together and find comfort, healing, and hope. And today on the show, to discuss more about this, we have the ladies from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We have Chris Artis and we have Missy Garcia Moreno.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Hi.
you so much for
Good
coming
morning.
on the show. So tell me a little bit about
Survivor Day.
Yes.
Survivor Day started, it's one day out of the year where families, friends, and relatives can come together and just share their stories of healing, of hope, connect with others for support.
Wow. And now the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, now is this the local Rio Grande Valley chapter, or are you a part of just the national organization?
We are a local chapter, South Texas chapter, which is part of a national chapter. Survivor Day occurs in over 75 chapters.
Wow.
And in 16 countries, all on the same day.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell me a little bit about the organization itself and what you all do down here locally.
We just became a chapter 2 years ago,
Okay.
and locally what our main goal is to provide educational information on prevention, on how suicide can be prevented, the local resources that are out there. Recently we've been blessed that we were accepted and to go in to speak at schools.
Wow.
And provide our services to teachers. So slowly but surely we're getting out there. The word is getting out that we are here, the presentations that we are doing. But this event is just one day out of the year on November 18th.
November 18th. I'm
yes,
sorry about that,
that's okay.
November 18th. Now, it's important, I know, to always discuss this kind of stuff, and it's one of those topics where people don't want to because they're afraid, but it's important to discuss it, and I think it's great that you all are getting into those schools. And have you found that, you know, schools and parents and the community have been very open and kind of receptive to talking about this?
We've had a little bit of both. More, they're not open to the idea, but then we have, you know, another percentage that they want to discuss it. It's a taboo, you know, especially in our area, in our
Right.
culture. But slowly but surely, you know, the voices have been heard and more people are getting involved with our organization.
That's great. And how many years have you been with the organization?
This is my second year.
Okay.
I've been involved for the last 6 years when we started the Out of the Darkness walks.
Okay.
And that was 6 years ago.
Wow.
But Survivor Day, we are on our second annual.
Wow. So having been to, you know, one prior, and how was that? Was it something that it was much needed and that you found a great community of people coming out to kind of be there together?
Seeing it from the outside, it was really heartwarming just to know people came just to get up in the morning and say, I'm going to do this, and come alone, and at the end to see their faces and how they felt like, okay, I'm not alone.
Right.
There are other people that know exactly what I'm going through and are dealing through the same journey.
Most definitely. And that's hard, I think, is people in certain situations tend to feel very alone, and then nobody understands and they don't know where to go to or who to turn, and they're afraid to. But I think that that's great that this day is dedicated for people to kind of open their eyes and see, you know, that there's hundreds, you know, thousands of people out there who need them. Now, Chris, you are a survivor. So do you want to talk a little bit about your story?
So Missy and I actually both lost a brother to suicide, and I lost my brother Tim. It was in 2002. He had just turned 30. He was in high school and college, a football. I would consider him a football star, but you know, I'm his sister. But he was married, great job, a little baby girl, and to everyone he seemed happy and just full of life. He was so much fun, smart, everything. And obviously inside something different. And
It's okay. Take your time.
so that's why this is so important, is because like meeting Missy, and you know, we've shared that it was a sibling, and when you go to these different events, by the beads, you get to see like this one lost a sibling, this one lost a child.
It's just reassuring to know, Chris and I don't see each other often. We're involved with AFSP,
Right.
but just to know that, you know, we get it. We understand. Our journeys might be somewhat different, but at the same time, they're very similar. And she gets losing a sibling, you know, to suicide. I lost my brother 6 years ago, and it's just finding somebody.
And to know there are people out there still like suffering alone is the way that I put it. And when you get together, it seems like, because of my tears, that it's sadness, but it's a matter of bringing hope and helping others, and hopefully preventing other families from going through what our families have been through.
And with one loss, you leave about, on average, 145 people
Wow.
to deal with it.
Wow.
And being that we're from the valley, our families are larger, so that number has to be larger here and
Most
there.
definitely.
So,
And I know you had mentioned that, you know, your brother, everything seemed on the outside perfect. You know, he seemed great and happy, and that may be in the same circumstance for you as well. So what are some things that people need to look out for, whether it's a sibling, a spouse, a child? Is there anything that they could look out for? Or?
difference in behavior, just a lot of communications. I recall, you know, just a conversation 2 days prior, talking to my brother. He sounded off. And I remember telling my husband, I need to call him back. Something just didn't sound right. And of course, we get busy with life.
Right.
And you don't think it's that serious.
You know, you don't think
you
it's that
see
serious.
off,
Maybe he's just
yeah.
having a bad day. And 3 days later
Wow.
is when he died.
But my brother had like a couple, about a month, within a month before he lost his life to suicide, even friends had noticed that, you know, he was not quite the same, but just thinking he's going through something and just not delving enough, because really, like I think with both of our brothers, they were the last persons you would think,
Right.
you know.
It's good just to check in and say, really, how are you doing? Our day is going to be a full day event
Okay.
with a creative art facilitator who's going to do an activity with the survivors to get in touch with their emotions,
Good.
and with a small group discussion as well as a panel discussion.
Perfect. Now, when is this going to? Now, it's November 18th.
November 18th at the McAllen Public Library. We ask that families come in, participants come in by 9:45.
Okay.
The event should start no later than 10:20,
Okay.
and it runs through 5 o'clock. And we'll end off with a laughter yoga therapist.
Oh, that's perfect.
Just to release all our energy from all the emotions we felt all
Wow.
day.
They can register ahead.
We can register
Okay,
ahead,
perfect.
which we recommend. There's only 80 slots available.
Wow. Okay.
So we're about at 30 right now.
Wow. Okay.
So.
Perfect.
And this is the first year that that teens can go.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
13
and I think
and
that's
older.
important, right? Most definitely. And is there a number that they can call to get more information?
Yes, 821-6539.
Perfect. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming on the show today, and it's great what you all are doing, and I know it's going to help tremendously.
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much.
Thank you. All right, folks. Well, when we come back, did you know that 11,000 Texans need a life-saving organ transplant? We'll discuss when we come back.